Okay, morning everybody. Well, I'm walking in the town of Quiberon. It's 7 a.m. and it's just starting to get light. Timing is a little bit off. It's a little bit dark, but hopefully you can all hear me, whoever's starting to join. I'm just going to walk onto the beach where the main race should happen. This week is the RCF World Surf Ski Championships. Weather predictions aren't that great, but still should be quite good. We're hoping it's going to be good. I'm walking right now onto the beach. There was a big triathlon here yesterday. It's like a European Cup. Fairly dark out here still, which surprised me because the sun should be coming up. I can see it's close. It's going to be interesting. Alex Bennett is with us. So here I am, just looking around. This is the town of Quiberon. You can look behind me. This is where this big triathlon was. Weather's not that bad. I've been here, Quiberon, a few times. It's in Brittany, which is right on the sort of northwest tip of France. And Quiberon's like nearly an island, just about an island, and high tide it's close to being an island because there's water on both sides. It's like a peninsula. There's 450 athletes coming to do the surf ski event, so it's growing in leaps and bounds. The first ever World Championships was held in Portugal in 2013. The second one was in Hong Kong, actually the Dragon Run route, and now this is the third one. Now it's going to happen every year. 450 surf ski paddlers, which is not bad at all, and the sport is growing, and you guys will be growing with it. I think you can all hear me. It's great to be in a spot like this. There was supposed to be a lot of wind. The wind has died down. I haven't checked the weather forecast today, but the bottom line is we should be having some wind. As long as there's some wind, it's going to be a lot of fun. Our sport's about learning how to paddle in the wind. It looks like I'm properly locked in here for the Gary game. Very strange. This is the town of Quiberon. Have a look at the back. It's a nice French town. I have a few questions that I've had. In fact, just got one earlier this morning. Corin Smith, who's doing the Mighty Murray paddle, which is like 400 kilometers. She was getting chafing under the armpits. Now that is a problem. Actually, that is actually a big problem. Chafing under the armpits means that she's using her arms and not rotating with your body. And basically, if you have a look here, if I paddle properly like that, notice there is absolutely no chafing can happen under my armpit here. As soon as I do this, then I'm going to get chafing. So Corin Smith, it's got to be like this. And she said the wind was blowing 40 knots it's really rough, all those kind of things that people have problems with, and they fell out in the K2 twice. The bottom line is you should never fall out of your boat ever, because you should be able to brace. So Corin Smith, I think it's time you did much more bracing exercises, because if you do bracing exercises, there's no way you should be able to fall out. Okay, that is the one thing I keep on stressing for everybody out there, is you've got to learn to brace properly. And bracing properly means that you should never, ever fall out of your canoe, surf ski, everything, if you can brace properly. The only way you can fall out is if you're not bracing. So let me tell you about there's a waiting period for this ICF World Surf Ski Championships. The waiting period is a bit disappointing because it's only 3 days. We're already here on Saturday. In fact, we were here yesterday, Saturday, and today is Sunday morning. And it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. At this stage, there was a huge amount of wind going to happen on Wednesday, but now it's disappeared. So we've only got 3 days. There's 2 separate races, the Masters race, and I'll be racing the over 55, and then you have the race for all of us, the main race, the World Championships, where there's no age group, will happen on a separate day. So it has to be 2 days. Not a lot of wind, but you never know. Weather is weather. This place can have serious wind and waves. Every time I've been here about 4 or 5 times in the past. There's always called the Brace Surf Ski Race, which basically means Brittany in French, and it's been rough. I mean, the temperature is not too bad. Water temperature is about 18 degrees. Outside temperature now is probably about 14, and it's supposed to be going up to about 18, 20. There's a little bit of breeze around. Not much swell around here, which is because there's been no wind. But it still will be a good test, I hope. That's our only hope. So coming back to training for this race, again, important to make sure, like something like Corin Smith, is that you concentrate. Alex Bird, it's 38 degrees in Japan. My gosh, the people in the Olympics next year are going to take strain in Tokyo. Yeah, it's not that warm. It's manageable. I'm still in shorts, little jacket and shirt. I can feel a bit of wind here, so it should be not that bad. Getting back to my training, I mean, as I said before, I was going through a really good patch. I was doing a technique session, a full technique session in the morning, early morning, then running, cycling, and in the afternoon I would do a long paddle, because the wind's been so good. I do about between 30 and 40 kilometer paddle, and I was really going well. And then suddenly I had a problem with my rib, and if people know about rib injuries, it's the absolute worst. There's nothing you can do for it. I've been to physio and things like that, so it's been a bit of a disappointment for me. But I think I've rested, and all I can do is hope that that I can go through the pain and manage to race the race either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. But the bottom line is you've got to listen to your body. I keep on chatting to people, trying to advise them. Listen to your body. If you listen to your body, it definitely makes a big difference. Then you shouldn't damage yourself. I've spoken to a lot of doctors that say that even though it's painful, I'm not doing any more damage. I haven't taken any anti-inflammatories. I think the best way for anti-inflammatories, best way to handle anti-inflammatories, inflammation, is to eat the correct food. And obviously carbohydrates are the most inflammatory food that you can have. So I've taken no anti-inflammatories, just eaten the right food, done a bit of fasting. My weight's good, my strength's good, and hopefully my injury will heal enough so that I can paddle. Again, it was interesting that I did a lot of technique. So those people out there that always think they've been paddling a long time, I've been paddling for 45 years and I still don't think I've 100% perfected my technique. That's why every single day I was doing a technique session. In my recovery, I've been doing technique session, obviously very slowly, because it really is a little bit painful, so I don't want to get too much pain, but I still was doing technique sessions. I was doing running just for the cardio part of the training, just so I keep my body going, and I feel I haven't done absolutely not one single stroke in anger. So it's going to be interesting to see how I go totally on MAF, which maximum aerobic function, which means that I haven't pushed my body one single bit. So, but I run, I don't let my body go over MAF, and when I've been paddling, I haven't let it go over 110 beats per minute. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all works out in the next 2 days. The boats arrived. The guys took about 25 hours to get here from Porto with my boat, paddling a nice 560, very light 560. Happens to be Nello's boat. Been doing a bit of testing on a whole new series of boats, so that's going to be fun. Alex Bennett says his ski rolls from side to side. Okay, your ski should roll from side to side, but it's only going to roll from side to side if you're paddling correctly. Big problem I'm seeing a lot of people, if they're rolling side to side, the biggest issue is that if whatever side it's rolling onto, your paddle blade must be there. So if you roll onto this side, you can see your paddle blade must be touching the side, touching the other side. So you really got to concentrate on putting your weight, always have your weight on your paddle blade side. There you go, there's the ferry coming in from one of the islands off Brittany. So obviously the first ferry. It's just starting to get a bit light here. Coming in, picking up some passengers. So your ski can roll from side to side, but not too much, Alex. It should only just slightly off. So if that's flat, it just rock a little bit. So distribute your weight onto this paddle and onto this paddle, and this paddle. Don't rock too much. It should be still flat. If you watch the Olympic paddlers, their boats just tilt a very little bit from side to side. Not too much, because then you're affecting the whole shape of your boat, which is not meant to be going side to side or up and down. So really concentrate on just putting your weight on the paddle. If you're putting your weight on your paddle, as you put your weight on the paddle, it'll push you back up, because the paddle, the wing paddle, especially the wing paddle, will really push you back up. So then you really don't want to be rocking side to side that much. Again, concentrate on your drills, one-sided drills, especially the lock elbow, making sure your paddle goes in at 90 degrees like that. So when you push down, if you're pushing down on your paddle, it's got to push you up. So even though you're leaning onto it, it's going to push you back up. It counterbalances that. So therefore, you shouldn't have a problem of leaning left and leaning right. I hope that answers your question. Okay, coming into a big race like this, it's important. A few important things is that you've really got to concentrate on getting your technique. You're not going to get fit in the last few days of a race. So from this race, I'm going to go to South Africa, the Fish River Marathon, which is 3-hour day and then a 2-hour day, and then from there back to Portugal, and then to the Shawn Partner Financial Services race in Perth. Shawn Financial Partners Doctor. But again, when you come to a race like this, there's no use doing any more training. Training is not going to help you get faster. The most important part of this time before the race is to keep on improving your technique. And in a race like this, where it's downwind, there's two parts of the technique. Number one, your actual style, and number two is how to perfect catching the runs around this area. So no use doing 2 and 3 hour paddles or 1 hour paddles or sprinting or anything. Nothing's going to help. In 3 days before the race, nothing is going to help. The only thing that's going to help is if you can make your technique a little bit better. Making your technique a little bit better could make you go faster. Training harder is not going to make you go faster. So all I'm going to be doing is, yesterday I just saw how my rib was, which was fine. I only paddled for 5 or 10 minutes, and then today again I'll just do a whole technique session. So 45 minutes to an hour doing technique, and then hopefully there's a bit of wind, and I'll do wind, seeing the lay of the land, seeing where I'm going to finish, where the finish is going to be. Again, interesting sport. We actually don't know which day we're going to race, and we don't know where we're going to race from, and we don't know where we're going to finish. We don't know where we're going to start. Interesting, because we still got to find out what the wind's doing. Once we find out what the wind's doing, then we can really have a look at what's happening and where we're going to be racing. Today again, I'll try and get some GPS waypoints, because I'll race the race with 2 GPSs. One showing my heart rate, speed, distance and time, and the other heart rate showing me where I'm going to go. So it's going to be quite interesting to see all the different courses. I think they've got 3 courses laid out for us, and in those 3 courses, hopefully it takes in the current weather at what we're expecting for the day. So Sunday, probably Monday, they're going to make a call which day we're going to actually have the race. David Ahmed, how are you going? Whereabout are you from, David? Good to see you. You can see it's very, very early in the morning here in Quiberon, France. A little bit chilly. Welcome, David. What's the time? Sure. Very people are either having a good party on Saturday evening in Australia, or Saturday evening in Australia, or Friday, Sunday evening in Australia, and in America, what's the time in America? Time in America must be Saturday afternoon or evening in America. So people are obviously having a good weekend. Too much fun out there at the moment, so not so many people watching live, but you will get this podcast broadcast to you later on. So as you can see, the sun is actually starting to come up, pretty much just starting. You can see it's starting to get a little bit lighter. I'll go back to bed because there's nothing happening in Quiberon at this time of the morning. Hopefully I'll do another podcast in the next day or two, showing what and where the venue is for the World Championships. Most of the guys are arriving today and tomorrow. Australians have arrived. My brother from South Africa has arrived. His mate Dave Reese has arrived. So a few people have arrived already. So they are getting ready. Yeah, you can see a little bit more light. And on the back there, you can see Quiberon town just starting to get light. Claire's telling me that I can't hear. David, can you hear? If that's the case, I think we'll sign off. There's a bit of confusion of what time this podcast was going to happen, but okay, Claire says we can hear now. But I think all in all, have a good weekend. Remember, my doors are open, my emails are open, and I'd like to hear from you. I've had some fantastic stories of how people are going faster. Phil Paris Brown in Australia has improved his times amazingly well, going much better, faster, more stable, which is fantastic. David Whitmer is improving a lot. He's getting a new boat. He's going from a V5 to a 520 XL. Willem's, one of my clients, is coming here. Willem's improving a lot, and he's really getting fast, and he's taking all the advice I give him and improving a lot. So I'm having a lot of success with people taking on the event. Dave has also lost a lot of weight. Wilson's lost a lot of weight, which is good. I've lost probably, again, just since I've concentrated on trying to get fit for this race, I've probably lost about 7 kilograms, which is not bad. So I've also lost quite a bit of weight. And it's, again, remember, it's not about the training to lose weight, it's about what you eat. I've been eating the right food, doing a bit of fasting, a lot of 48-hour fasting and then eating, and it's paying off. It definitely helps, fasting. And I've been training while I've been fasting, so that's why I only done 48 hours. Otherwise I'd do longer fasts. Fasting is one of the easiest ways, because then you don't really have to eat the perfect food. You just got to make sure that you fast for 1 or 2 days. Okay, it's 7:25. Either we got the times wrong, there's not so many people online, but the bottom line is concentrate on your technique, keep on doing your drills. Believe me, when I was training now, and I've been doing drills for a long time, I was doing drills and doing my technique 7 days a week. It's the only way to improve. At our age, and most of my clients are older than the growing phase, we are past 40 and 50. The only way to get faster is to improve your technique, and keep on pushing it. I'll discuss with Cam when we have our next live podcast, but thank you very much for your support. Next time it looks like people prefer the evening podcasts, because then we had Australia and some people from America all doing it, so this time doesn't seem to work, as we haven't had lots of people online. But appreciate your support, and remember, keep giving me feedback, keep giving me questions, and I'll answer them as best as I can. Thanks for listening. Those people that are probably going to get this podcast later on. Sun's just coming up here in Quiberon, France, and we'll have fun. So maybe during the week we'll do another podcast where there's a lot of action, where we interview a few people, or after the race, and tell you how we went. Adam Thorpe. So Adam's just arrived. Adam, I'm in Quiberon, France at ICF World Championships, and it's pretty much just becoming light. Beautiful little quaint town. We're going to racing Wednesday, Thursday or Friday. It's a 3-day waiting period. and hopefully we have a lot of wind. At the moment there's not too much, all it is a little bit chilly. What can you do? So Adam, any questions that you would like to get answered in the closing stages of the live podcast? Shout, just type it in there and I'll answer it. Welcome. We'll probably do another podcast in the next few days, maybe after the race. No problem, Adam. So this podcast will be recorded and then sent out to everybody that's in the club, learning about what I do before a race, how I do it, and how to improve your paddling. Okay, 7:30. My podcast always lasts half an hour. The sun is slowly coming up in Quiberon, France, and I'll be signing off till next time. We'll put up the date and the time of the next podcast, which should be maybe just after the ICF World Championships. See how people did. Interview a few people, and thanks for listening. Adam, sorry that you only joined us in the last little bit, but don't worry, it will be recorded and get broadcasted out later. Cheers, everybody. See you, and train hard, but more importantly, train effectively. Remember that everybody says practice makes perfect. That's incorrect. Practice makes permanent. So rather practice the correct way than just keep on bashing your head against the wrong way. Practice makes permanent, not perfect. Practice perfect technique and you will get good. Cheers, everybody.